Take charge of your VCE Part 2 for 3 areas of study. Learn the essentials from an experienced English teacher and private tutor. Area Study 1, Text Response. Watch the film version of the text if there is one. There is no need to take notes for this activity. If you are aiming for high results, you need to read and analyse each text 6 or 7 times before the exam. Notes that other people make are only useful if you make them your own. There is no point downloading resources on a given text, then only reading the material. You need to take the key ideas from these and express them in your own words. Text response continued. Teachers will provide you with handouts to support your text studies. There will be times when you are likely to groan at the sheer volume you are expected to read and complete outside of school time. You are also expected to engage in your own independent research. Part of this process involves finding your own resources. Area Study 2, Language Analysis. In class, you've been taught language analysis skills. Reading the newspaper allows you the opportunity to practice these skills. For example, you might be reading an article about the women's AFL and how important it is. How is the writer attempting to convince you to accept their point of view? Is there a cluster of persuasive techniques that the writer relies on? What about the writer's tone? Language analysis continued. Avoid limiting your search to the main section of the paper. Some of the supplements, such as the Saturday Age Weekend, present suitable issues. Many of the best and most thought-provoking issues come from sports writers. Your language analysis skills can be practiced every day. You are reading for a purpose, not simply for information. As well as the newspaper, you can read magazines and journals in print and online. Language analysis continued. Keep a look out for new vocabulary, words that you can use to improve your own writing. Make sure that when you include new vocabulary that you understand how it is used. Essays with misused words weaken the quality of your work. Look at the style that writers use and try to incorporate what they do in your own writing. For example, varying sentence lengths. Remember that most of your VCE English written work is to be presented using a formal register of language. Area Study 3, the comparative. Advice for Area Study 1 applies equally to this area of study. Explore key ideas, issues and themes equally for both texts. It is essential that you make meaningful connections, noting and commenting on similarities and differences in your essay. Tips on annotating your text as you read. For a novel, stop after each chapter or 20 pages and write up to 6 brief dot points. For a play, read scene by scene or every 10 pages and write up to 3 brief dot points. For a film, watch it once without taking notes. On second viewing, stop scene by scene and take up to 3 brief dot points. Your first reading could include plot outline, details on the protagonist, introduction of new characters, character development, themes, significant development of the story, key quotes, include page numbers. Tips on annotating your text as you read continued. Don't annotate just once. As you study the text in more depth, your annotations will become more sophisticated. Sometimes your teacher will tell you to underline certain parts and may include annotation. This is not enough. Make sure that you put annotations in your own words and that you understand why the text is being underlined. Tips on annotating your text as you read continued. By the end of the year before the exam, you should know the text as well as your teacher. This means reading, rereading and re-annotating. It is essential that you practice language analysis and other work throughout the year, even when you are not working on that area of study or task. You cannot afford to allow any part of your understanding to fall away. Tune in for part 3, a parent's concerns and questions.